love is in the air, not only for humans, but for the eastern coyote as well. February is peak mating season for coyotes in northeast Ohio. During this time, there are influxes of coyote sightings and the occasional attack on domestic pets. For many hunters, an increase in coyote also means more chances to take a shot at this intelligent predator. Coyote hunting is permitted nearly year-round in Ohio, and without a bag limit, the eastern coyote is fair game.
They're constantly news blasts through local Facebook groups and community watch groups talking about, oh no, there's a coyote, oh no, look out, there's coyotes, keep your dogs inside, there's coyotes, and really it just always seemed like it was a much bigger deal to everyone else around me. They're definitely one of America's most successful predators, and definitely not a bad thing. I mean, predators are predators, and predators have prey, and I don't see it as being some sort of slight against nature that, you know, a bunny's time comes or other things like that. They kind of surround their diet based off of what there's an abundance of. You know, if for some reason meat is scarce, they'll move on to other things and we'll find ways to carry on. I think the issue most people have and their bias against coyotes is the well-being of their pets. Coyotes aren't vicious animals. They see humans and other critters as one of two things. You're either competing for the same territory or you're on the dinner menu. They found pairs that have mated for 10 and upwards of years together. There's this notion that you should just be able to, you know, kill as many coyotes as you want. It's a good thing. It'll benefit everybody if you kill them. But in reality, what they're doing is they're fracturing family groups. There's the breeding pair, you know, usual alpha situation. And when that breeding pair gets disrupted, suddenly all of the other groups and pairs in the group of coyotes are going to start breeding too, leading to more litters, more pups, more coyotes. So culling programs don't work. Neither do incredibly loose hunting restrictions. A lot of it's a matter of humans changing their behavior to stop attracting coyotes, to stop encouraging coyotes. It's not good to stop and take a selfie with a coyote. In 2020, Donald Trump delisted gray wolves under federal protection. And since then, over 200 wolves have been killed. This week, 24 that were recently killed by hunters were actually a part of a long-running study since the 90s. A lot of predator bias really came into play with that, and it backfired incredibly, allowing politicians to kind of strip the regulations that kept them safe and had their numbers returning. If that's the attitude that we take with coyotes, then what's the, you know, keep that from expanding into other species? Just like with the gray wolves being delisted and how that went horribly awry from it turning into a political agenda, I think that by distinctly saying that you don't care, you're setting a precedent and an opportunity for something potentially policy changing in a really bad way. If Don Jones' proposal would have passed, it would have stripped the regulations from coyotes in entirety, you know, leaving them protection only as that of a pest animal, which, as everyone knows and doesn't always love, are killed in really humane ways. Snares being one of the worst ones you can do and the most effective with coyotes. This week, 24 that were recently killed by hunters were actually a part of a long-running study since the 90s. A lot of predator bias really came into play with that, and it backfired incredibly, allowing politicians to kind of strip the regulations that kept them safe and had their numbers returning. But if that's the attitude that we take with coyotes, then what's the, you know, keep that from expanding into other species?
In 2020, Republican Representative Don Jones introduced a bill to further loosen hunting restrictions on the eastern coyote. The intention of Jones's proposal would delist coyotes as fur bearers, leaving their protections to that of a city rat. The proposal would have casually stripped the Ohio Wildlife Council's ability to manage the eastern coyote, who has the final say on hunting, trapping, and fishing regulations. With resistance met, the proposal was withdrawn, leaving open a chance to revisit the subject in the future. This near miss would have laid the groundwork to political wildlife management in Ohio.